Prime Minister Skerrit announces a date for a Soufriere by-election after the seat was made vacant by Ian Pinard's resignation. Liat to make changes after Dominica's Prime Minister complained of poor service, and MP for Salisbury optimistic about government's feeder road project. I am Idona John Baptist with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. You're watching Channel 5 News. First up, a date has been set for a by-election in the Soufriere constituency. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit made the announcement on Monday.
As of Tuesday, the 20th day of April 2016, the seat of the elected member of the Soufriere constituency became vacant as a result of his resignation. In accordance with Section 55 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica, a by-election shall be held to fill the vacancy within 3 months of the occurrence of the vacancy. Pursuant to the above, I advised the President that the by-election for the Soufriere constituency be held on the 7th of June 2016 and that nomination day be declared to be the 20th of May 2016. In that regard, and further to Section 12 of the House of Assembly Elections Act, I further requested of His Excellency the issuance of writs on the 9th of May 2016 for the purpose of the aforesaid election. So the by-election date is 7th of June 2016.
Other top stories: changes in Liat's flight schedule for Dominica underway following a meeting between the tourism minister and Liat hierarchy.
Senior management officials of Liat met with Tourism Minister Senator Robert Tong here on Friday over complaints of inefficiency by the airline. Last month, Prime Minister Skerrit wrote a letter to Liat CEO at the time, David Evans, after Liat had cancelled one of its 2 flights into Dominica on April 8. It was even rumored that the PM's criticism led to Evans' resignation, but that has since been debunked by Senior Counsel Anthony Astafan. Senator Tong told Channel 5 News that an in-depth discussion took place between himself and Liat officials, including acting Liat CEO Julia Reefer-Jones. Tong says it was important to get to know about challenges facing Liat before government makes additional demands on the Caribbean airline.
The purpose of the meeting was to explain to the Liat and its executives our position and the impact that their scheduling has on Dominica, both in terms of tourism and also our business individuals and even persons that's coming back to Dominica, where there's significant challenges in terms of coming in and coming out. As you're well aware, the Prime Minister of Dominica wrote to the CEO of Liat, and I'm happy to announce that even before they came, there have been some positive changes, whereas normally it would take you 2 weeks to make a booking. You can now book a ticket maybe like 1 day or 2 days from the day that you want to travel. So Liat has already been making changes to their schedule, and I'll be making a formal press statement on that very soon, and also the new schedule that we discussed with them that will allow us to have better access in and out of Dominica.
In more news, parliamentary representative of the Salisbury constituency, Hector John, is welcoming an upcoming feeder road project to benefit farmers of Salisbury. Martinique firm Travis EURL has been contracted to upgrade feeder roads at Salisbury Heights, Syndicate and Mero to Cuba. All of these works will cost 6.7 million EC dollars and should start by mid-July. The Member of Parliament for Salisbury says that the Salisbury feeder road project has been long overdue.
On behalf of the entire farming community in Dominica, I welcome the news, especially to farmers in the Salisbury area. I'm hearing that they have funds to fix the Cuba 2-car home to Salisbury Road, and we welcome that. We have been waiting for that for about 15 years, and last year, coincidentally, on Wednesday the 11th, it was a year since we protested for government to address that road. At least a year later, we've seen something is happening in the right direction. But we don't want to stop there. We also have concerns in Monmouth Heights and also Guomon that need addressing. We enter into the rainy season, and we hope that it will not really delay it a bit further in terms of the road repairs in the Salisbury area.
John says Tropical Storm Erica has caused some farmers to down their tools because of lack of access.
We want farmers to produce more. We want them to spend more time on the farm and not worrying about wear and tear on the vehicles. Some farmers not getting a trucker to go up there and pick up the stuff for them, and that was a problem. So if you have better roads, you'll have farmers without vehicles will be able to hire a vehicle to go and pick up their produce. And want to see the young tradesmen in the area gain a bread from that as well. I think it would be not doing justice to the process by not giving the people of Salisbury an opportunity to work with the companies. I hope that they will look for, when they're looking for laborers, they look.
Funds allocated for feeder road development under the Banana Accompanying Measures program have been increased by over 50% due to Tropical Storm Erica's impact.
Under the BAM, 15.27 million euros, or an approximately 45.81 million EC dollars, have been allocated for strategic development initiatives in the agricultural sector. Of the quoted amount, 4 million euros, or approximately 12 million EC dollars, were initially allocated for feeder road rehabilitation. With the passage of Tropical Storm Erica, recognizing the impact the storm had on feeder roads, government took the decision to increase that amount to 7.7 million euros, or approximately 23.1 million EC dollars.
Onto the health sector, where complaints over poor customer service and a discourteous attitude by nurses continue to worry President of the Dominica Nurses Association. The nursing profession is being celebrated this week under the theme A Force for Change, Improving Health Systems Resilience. Nurse Deborah Roach Phillip says among the areas the Nurses Association has been focusing on is promoting delivery of quality service.
And part and parcel of my responsibility presently also is to go around and speak to the customers, speak to the patients who come around the hospital, especially as you made mention of the accident and emergency department, to ensure that the clients who are there are being served with a high level of care, that when they leave they will be satisfied. So we are aware and we are working on it, and there has been some improvement. Even with a mentorship program that lately the Principal Nursing Officer under the Ministry of Health has put together, this is part and parcel of what we are striving at, ensuring that our nurses deliver good customer service.
A church service on Tuesday will open Nurses Week. Other activities include a public speaking competition, an awards ceremony, and an educational symposium scheduled for Wednesday.
In our thrust to educate our nurses, we have put together an educational symposium where our nurses will come in and they will get quite a bit of information, knowledge, and we'll have discussions on professional conduct, customer service, and mentoring and coaching. All this is in a thrust to improve on the delivery of healthcare that our nurses deliver to our persons in Dominica.
A child rights activist is calling for systems to be enacted to help children scarred from sexual abuse.
One man recently found guilty of indecent assault received a suspended sentence because, according to the court, his situation was dire and imposing a custodial sentence would make matters worse. The man's case was described as extremely exceptional based on his income and that of his girlfriend. It was thought that the loss of his income would deal a severe blow to his dependents. However, one child rights activist says economic circumstances should not be a factor in sentencing an offender.
We now sending a message to would-be perpetrators that all you have to do now, say you're sorry, so you get 1/3 of your sentence, and then present your long list of your responsibilities and all your commitments. And that means that no custodial sentence is going on. Are we really serious? People have gotten sent to jail for less than that. And I mean, not even 1 month custodial sentence. Somebody steals a tin of sardines because the person is hungry. You send them to jail because they cannot pay for it. And a child the future of our nation is damaged.
It must be noted that the judge did make the point that sexual abuse was atrocious and cannot be trivialized. He also said that sex abuse was a matter of national concern, but a social inquiry found the accused to be a protective father who should be held accountable, but it also said there was room for change. Curfew Weeks says more support systems should be activated to assist children traumatized by sexual abuse.
Yes, we send them to jail. Work on having the systems that they can be rehabilitated. They have dependents. Let us use the existing systems to give support, to empower those people so that they can break the cycle of poverty and dependency, so they can become independent, they can help themselves, and they can help those who depend upon themselves. But if we just have to allow people to escape because, oh, I have a sickly grandmother. You didn't think of your grandmother before you did what you did? Oh, this person doesn't have enough money. We will find money elsewhere to augment that person, but you will pay the price for what you've done. And until and unless we take that stance, Dominica is doomed.
The advocate is of the view that Dominica must do more to support and protect its children.
We are not dealing with the protection of our children from being abused. And even those who are abused, we are not even thinking about helping them to overcome the abuse. And that is why we have a nation of ticking time bombs walking around the place. I'm making a special appeal to the people who have the power to punish those who need to be punished, regardless of all the extenuating circumstances. You have done the crime, you need to do the time.
This is Channel 5 News. Coming up, the Attorney General on a number of significant new bills to go before Parliament. Stay with us. Welcome back. Several new bills to be introduced to Parliament this year, including those related to sexual offences and public order.
Attorney General Levi Peter recently told the media that the revised Sexual Offences Act is in the process of making its way to Parliament. A bill which will provide legislative guidance on whether an accused person of a serious offence should be granted bail will also go to Parliament shortly, according to the Attorney General. Peter said the amended Proceeds of Crime Bill and Money Laundering Prevention Amendment Bill are also expected to be passed in keeping with the conformity to international requirements. Aside from the crime-related legislation, the Tourism Standards Regulations and the Geothermal Bill are to be brought to Parliament.
There's also the Child Justice, Children, Care and Adoption and Status of Children bills, which you would have heard of in other fora, which are family-related bills, and those I expect will find their way to Parliament later this year. I should also mention the Legal Profession Act, which for various reasons has not found its way to Parliament and onto the statute books. I am determined that it will do so this year. I had said June, but I suspect that we will miss that target, but I am determined that that particular bill will find its way to Parliament in the soonest possible time, certainly by, I hope, certainly by the end of this year.
Meantime, the Attorney General has advocated for stringent laws to deal with incitement of crime. He says he is concerned of what he has been hearing on the airwaves.
And it's become, in my view, the view of many has become that you can say whatever you want and claim that it's an opinion. I do not agree with that, and I don't understand that to be in concordance with the law. The law is that you can speak freely. That includes saying things you shouldn't say, but there's a consequence. And therefore, we need to make sure that there is a proper consequence. We can't stop you from saying what you want to say, but if you say something that is contrary to the law or that it's inciting an offense, then you should be held accountable for it. And I think we need to ensure that our legislation properly reflects that.
On the agriculture scene, plans are underway to have bananas exported to European markets soon.
That's the word from a high-ranking agriculture official who made the disclosure during an interview with Channel 5 News. Dominica's agriculture division and the country's farmers have been commended for the work they've done in getting the black sigatoka disease under control.
The tissue cultured plants that the Ministry of Agriculture invested in our farmers, so to speak, is yielding very well. And the National Fair Trade, the farmers, the hucksters, they have started exporting bananas again in the region. So this is very encouraging. And then we are working towards putting the necessary systems in place in the very near future to be able to export on the UK market again.
The PS expects a bumper crop of Irish potato this season, which forms part of government's diversification plan.
We got a lot of assistance from Propel for supply of elite potato seeds, and these elite potato seeds have a very high germination rate, almost 100%, I think. And then they also per kilogram, it's double the number of seeds. So farmers in the northeast who introduced this year, because we normally would do potatoes in the south agricultural region, and they also they're doing very, very well. We have 3 varieties: Desiree, El Mundo, and Spunta.
Geist believes the potatoes can be more creatively utilized to ensure greater consumption on the local market.
The Spunta also is a much larger Irish potato than the Desiree. It has an elongated shape, and I think as the industry develops, I'm hoping we'll be able to go into just getting a little slicing machine and cut potato chips and sell it like frozen potato chips, like what we are seeing people are importing. And I don't see no reason why we cannot do that. And the spoon looks like a very good candidate for that kind of product.
And congratulations to Marpin's Mother's Day shopping spree winners Minerva Leta from Tebow and Catherine Carbon from Portsmouth. Both women won the shopping spree contest through a dip which formed part of a customer appreciation event on Friday. The winners shopped at Northern Food Supplies on Bay Street, Portsmouth, in the form of a supermarket sweep. It was the company's way of saying Happy Mother's Day to the women who came in to settle their bills. Similar Mother's Day appreciation activities were also held at the company's head office in Roseau. That's news. Kenny Williams is next with your sports highlights.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us. We begin with cricket, where waterlogged conditions on the final day of play favored the Desiderata Tremors in the Dominica Cricket Association's Premier League on the weekend. Tremors batted first and scored 146. Grayson Packett added 30, Nigel John Lewis 20, and Martin Matthew 13. Nicholas Bruno took 4 for 40, Thomas Joseph 3 for 25, and Elton Mark 2 for 17. Summits in reply posted 101 all out. Thomas Joseph scored 29 not out and Kamal Hamilton 19. Mervyn Matthew took 4 for 11, Vivian Teat 2 for 27, and Martin Matthew 2 for 31. Tremors again at the crease scored 252. Summits replied with 44 for 2 when the rain disrupted play. Tremors beat Summit Sports Club on first innings decision. Meantime, the game between Dubla United and Marino Blasters also had an early end as one of the umpires failed to show up on the second day of play. Scores from that match: Dubla United 201 all out, Marino Blasters 55 for 3. In football highlights, there were 4 wins and 1 draw in results from the National Leagues of the Dominica Football Association on the weekend. Gerald George has details.
On Saturday, Dubla Football Club went past Calibishi 4-2 at the Benjamin Park. Shekil St. Mary, Elisha Francois, Jesse Daru, and Allington Fritz scored for Dubla, with Anderson Francois and Jefam Lawrence scoring for Calibishi. While at the Cassibus playing field, Nemesis United and its Central Young Boys played 2-2 all draw. Vernon Joseph scored both goals for Nemesis, with Al John and Starrell Seraphine doing the scoring for its Central Young Boys. On Sunday, Goodwill All-Stars edged out ACS Tarish United 1-0 in the first match of a doubleheader at the Newton playing field. Ashton Robbins scored for Goodwill All-Stars. The second match was called off due to waterlogged conditions. Meantime, in the only match possible in the Domlec Women's League, Wood City's strikers defeated Bomber Starlight 7-3 at the Benjamin Park. Cassandra Alexander converted 4 times for Wood City, with 1 each coming from Halima Lockhart, Janet Carbon and Tabik Lockhart. Akima Seja scored all 3 goals for Bomber Starlight.
Basketball action takes us to Massac, where in a closely contended game, Detroit Blazers beat Fashion Line Falcons 66-62 in a Division 1 encounter on Saturday. G. Graham scored the most for Blazers with 20 points, while K. McPherson assisted with 18. Falcons' top shooter was A. Juliana Jr. with 17. Armaglo had 13 points. Meantime, in another match, Intelco Security Raiders defeated Elvis Welding Services Hornets 96-47. Raiders' top shooter was John James with 15, Kerbin Nathan 12, and Kersaya Alcid 8. For Hornets, Jackavive Collier scored 22 and Taylor Birmingham 8. Back on the football scene, UEFA President Michel Platini is expected to resign from Europe's football governing body after a failed attempt at having a 6-year ban from football overturned. A court of arbitration for sports got the ban down 4 years on Monday. After the ruling, the 60-year-old said he would be stepping down from his post. Last year, Platini and former FIFA counterpart Sepp Blatter were found guilty of ethics breaches of about £1.3 million in disloyal payment. Platini had brought his case to the Court of Arbitration seeking to get the ban overturned, but the 3-man panel said it was not convinced by the legitimacy of the payment. Still in sports, President of Dominica Fencing Association Woody Lawrence hopes that exposing fencer Cody Morris to competition outside of Dominica will bring much-needed recognition to the sport. This will be the first time that any local fencer will represent the country regionally or internationally.
This is a big moment for us. Cody's performance hopefully will go a long way for us, and it is a first for us. He will become Dominica's first ever fencer to compete overseas. We're hoping to send Cody Morris to Martinique in June, just before he competes in Panama, to spend a week with Maestro Benoit to really go over some skills and, of course, practice sessions that he needs to improve on.
Cody Morris has been winning gold medals in local competition and is expected to take part in the Pan American Senior Fencing Championships in June. Lawrence says although fencing is not a traditional nor popular sport here, he hopes to introduce the game to more people.
With the fencing aspect, you have certain weapons involved, and of course people always think that it's a very dangerous sport, that someone's going to get stabbed or killed. I mean, every sport has its risks. But surely fencing is one of the safest sports. We have all the equipment. So surely breaking that cycle that fencing is a dangerous sport has been surely one of the things to overcome.
The former Olympic swimmer says he hopes to have fencers qualify for the next Olympics.
The Pan American tournaments are really an initial development tournaments for the Olympics. So who knows, in 2020, possibly in Tokyo, we will have one of our youth fencers going.
The Dominica Fencing Association has been active since 2014. More in sports, the sports division will commence its 2016 Secondary Schools Under-15 Basketball League on Tuesday at Lindo Park and Wednesday at Dominica Grammar School Harcourt. There are 6 male and 4 female teams in this year's competition. The Pierre Charles and Portsmouth Secondary Schools are the male and female defending champions respectively. The games begin at 3 p.m. Meantime, the first domestic insurance secondary schools Under-15 Cricket Championship will continue on Tuesday when Dominica Grammar School takes on St. Mary's Academy at Windsor Park Sports Stadium. Starting time is 10 a.m. Royal Challengers Bangalore escaped with a narrow victory on the last ball to defeat Kings 11 Punjab by 1 run in the Indian Premier League on Monday. RCB batted first and registered 175 for 6. AB de Villiers scored 64 and Lokesh Rual 24. Set 176 for victory, Punjab fell short and could only reach 174 by the 20th over. MVJ scored a game high of 89.
And the weather report is next.
Good evening, Dominique, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marsha Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery, what it showed some low-level clouds which moved across the island chain today, with some high-level clouds moving in from the southwest. Now taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed, multi-layered clouds across the island chain during today. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery, what it indicated, scattered showers across parts of the island chain during today. Now tonight's weather is expected to be cloudy at first, becoming fair to partly cloudy and occasionally breezy with a few brief scattered showers. Tomorrow's weather is expected to be partly cloudy and breezy with a few brief isolated showers. Sea conditions are expected to be moderate in open water with waves peaking near 7 feet. Small craft operators and sea beavers, you're advised to exercise some caution. Conditions for the next 3 days: partly cloudy skies and breezy conditions expected tomorrow. However, as we move into Wednesday and Thursday, an increasing cloudiness and scattered showers can be expected, with the possibility of some isolated thunderstorms by late Wednesday into Thursday. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, partly cloudy skies and breezy conditions with a few brief scattered showers can be expected, with temperatures peaking between 31 and 33 degrees Celsius. Our international cities forecast: overcast skies can be expected in New York, partly cloudy skies expected in Miami and Beijing, some rain expected in London, with some thunderstorm activity expected in Caracas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:38 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:26 p.m. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit the website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Prime Minister Skerrit announces a date for a Soufriere by-election after the seat was made vacant by Ian Pinard's resignation. Liat to make changes after Dominica's Prime Minister complained of poor service. And MP for Salisbury optimistic about government's feeder road project. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsMay9th2K16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube page. On behalf of the production team, I am Idona John Baptist. To our viewers around the world, thanks for watching. Join us tomorrow.